Hey friends, welcome to our Holy Week Unwind. We're going to give it a few minutes for people to show up. It sounds like the wind has died down just a little. I was on the front porch a few minutes ago and I think it was a turkey vulture was flying by, but it was flying backwards. The wind was going so fast. So I'm glad it has calmed down a little bit. And inspirational thought for the day: surround yourself with tacos, not negativity. All right. So it is, it's Wednesday of Holy Week, the week leading up to Easter Sunday. And we are taking some time each night during Holy Week to, we're calling it a Holy Week Unwind, a chance to just sit back, be still, maybe turn the lights down a little bit. If you've got a candle, light that and kind of join us in that a bit more quiet and reflective space. And I hope you've got a Bible, because some of these are some pretty compelling stories, and I hope you'll spend some time in them this week. And really what we're doing is we're kind of entering the story again with Jesus as he is on his journey during this last week of his life on the way to the cross, and just taking the time to look inward a little bit, do a little bit of reflection on what that week might have to say to us in our life right now. So I want to encourage you, if you have a chance, maybe take some time tonight and read Matthew 23, whole chapter. Not real long, but it is a little bit harsh. Jesus really gets after the religious leaders in this chapter, and says some pretty strong things. In fact, he says some things like this: they tie up heavy burdens, hard to bear, and they lay them on people's shoulders, but they themselves are not willing to move them with a finger. They do all their deeds to be seen by others. They make their religious displays big, their fringes on their robes long. They love the place of honor at the feast and the best seats in the synagogue and greetings in the marketplace and being called rabbi by others. And then he goes on to say, but whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted. Kind of makes me wonder, do you sometimes, I know I do, do you find yourself worried more, thinking more about other people's opinions of you rather than about honoring God in every part of your life? Sometimes this chapter is called Matthew's woe chapter, because it's full of all of these woe to you statements. Jesus says, woe to you religious leaders, woe to you hypocrites. Some pretty harsh things. Like this one, for example: woe to you scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you give a tithe of your mint and your dill and your cumin, but you have neglected the weightier, the more important matters of the law, justice and mercy and faithfulness. You should have done those things without neglecting the others. You blind guides, you strain out a gnat, but you swallow a camel. I mean, what he's saying is, these religious leaders, they put all of their attention into catching the littlest thing that's wrong in other people's lives, to try to be sure that nobody with just the slightest bit of uncleanness comes anywhere close to them. But when it comes to their own life, they're willing to swallow the whole camel. I mean, they overlook the biggest things in their own heart because they're so obsessed with the little things in other people's lives. Does that resonate at all? Do you ever find yourself paying a lot of attention to somebody else's faults without really being willing to dig into your own? You know, if there's one clear message in this woe to you chapter of Matthew, it's that Jesus really grieves the hypocrisy of his own people, especially when it comes to how we treat one another. And he's got some strong things to say when we do that. But don't stop there, because this chapter, even in all of its woe to you content, it still ends with this reflection of God's actual heart, what Jesus longs for. He says, "Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, the city that kills the prophets and stones those who are sent to it, even still, how often would I have gathered your children together as a hen gathers her brood under her wings? How often have I longed to bring you together with me?" That's the heart of God, which is great news, isn't it? Even when we obsess about other people's faults and ignore our own, even when we're more concerned about what other people think of us than about living a Christ-like life, even then, Jesus longs, his desire is to wrap his arms around us and to pull us close. Thank goodness. So may this season be for you a chance to examine your own heart a little bit, to sit and do a little reflection, to let God shine a candle into those darker spots that we all have in our hearts. And as you do that, I mean, it's not fun, but as you let Jesus into those places, may you find him close. May you find him wrapping his arms around you like a hen around her baby chicks, for you are loved. Go in peace.